Oh, this is pretty strange. Okay. I am doing an impromptu live, which I assume most of you will be watching later after the fact because I haven't announced this. I literally didn't wake up this morning planning to do this, but I just thought it would be a good thing to try. And I also had some thoughts that I wanted to share with you guys and also tell you where the hell I've been lately. And I might do these more often if this goes well. So we'll see. Fingers crossed. But anyway, first I want to say it's been a few months since I've been live on the channel for literally since like September. So if you happen to notice, I'm sorry, I'm aware. What happened was I had a lot of back-to-back things last fall, and by the time I got to November, December, I was burning out pretty hard. Like, I hadn't realized that it was happening until it was happening, kinda like the frog sitting in the boiling water and thinking like, "Oh my god, I'm dying now." But it's happening now. So I don't know. Things just kind of got a little overwhelming. It snuck up on me, and then I've spent most of January, figuring out what to do with that information and what I need to change so that that doesn't happen again. So I just kind of, if you happen to catch my live with Christy Price in December, where we actually talked about the overwhelm level, a lot of that was contributing factors. That's a lot of some of the things that I decided to let go of. So if you want to learn more about that, you can go check out the live there. I think it's linked maybe from my channel under guest, maybe playlists. Anyway, I'll try to remember to link the live here. But what I wanted to say today was in my club, in the membership that I have with my fellow designer students. Every Monday, I post something new, a new topic, and I've been doing it for 3 years now, and I kind of forget that that's this thing that kind of lives in a silo on its own, but today was an interesting one, and I wanted to share it with you guys too. It was titled "Pause Before the Reset" because, I feel like I needed that this year, and I'm actually pretty certain that I'm not alone. But before I dive, I guess, further into this, maybe if you're new here, you probably maybe don't know who I am. I'm Caitlin. I run Launch the Damn Thing, and I'm a Squarespace educator now and full-time designer. I've been a designer in the professional world since 2006. Been a hot minute. But anyway, so today's post in the club was about taking a pause before we reset because a lot of people are resetting in January, but they're really just coming down off of the December, whatever happened in December. And that was a lot for me this year too. And I just wanted to sort of like, I don't know, in a way, give you guys permission to be like, yeah, I'm struggling to get my feet this year. There's a lot happening in the world. There's a lot happening in the US. On top of all of that, there's holiday sales and family get-togethers and all of that stuff. And then January, we're supposed to be deep thinking and planning strategy and calendar planning and setting goals and like motivating ourselves, but we're exhausted. I don't know about you. I am exhausted. So most of this month, I've been taking care of my husband who's been sick. I'm taking my dog to the vet later this afternoon. Like I'm taking care of stuff, myself included, trying to make sure that I don't do the burnout thing all over again. And I just wanted to share a little bit. So earlier this month, I had a call from with one of my longtime clients. I've worked with her since 2020, and she was saying she's launching a new podcast series by the end of the month. And I was like, "Yeah, that's like now." And she laughed and she was like, "Where did January go?" I was like, "I don't know." And she said, actually, one of her friends during her planning period said that she actually does her planning period in January, not in December, because she actually wants to leave December for the holiday stuff, for the family stuff, for the Christmas stuff, or whatever. And that's such a smart thing. It had me rethinking taking December off for planning and end of the year stuff and realizing actually January really needs to be that for me, for my business, because it was too stressful to manage all of this during the month of December. I actually got really sick. We were traveling, like all of the things, right? Christmas sales, it just too much. So I told her, I was like, that's a really good idea. I might actually steal that. And my clients, all my service clients that I've worked with on repeat, they all know that I take December off. And now they're about to know that I take December and January off for that reason, for different reasons, I guess. So, anyway, that was something that was an interesting perspective. I think I'm gonna use that, not this January because that's over, now it's February, but I might very well do that next year, and I thought that that was a good thing to share. And the other thing was that January is, like, when we're supposed to be starting to be productive again, and I don't know about you, but I just didn't feel very productive. I was catching up most of the month on the mountains of emails and notifications I got while I was out of the office, while I was sick, while I was burnt out. And so it wasn't very productive for me, but it wasn't productive for my business, but it was productive for me, Caitlin, the person. And that was really helpful for me to be able to recover. So the clarity I've realized is not coming from forcing decision making mode when we're in that brain fog that comes after the holidays and the stress and the everything. And, it actually comes after that fog lifts, which for me is happening in February, not January. So there's no New Year's resolutions. I haven't even done my annual review yet. I don't have a word of the year. Like all of these things that we're supposed to have done in the month of January didn't happen. And I'm okay with that. And I think it's important to say that out loud so that other people are like, yeah, I'm okay with that too. And they don't feel like they should be doing something they're not ready for, don't have time to do, whatever. So you're not behind, you're just integrating, reorienting yourself in a new season. Literally, it's about to be spring in a couple of months. Tax season is coming up. Like there's other things that we need to think through and worry about, and integrating lessons, noticing patterns, quietly redefining what enough looks like, realizing what you want less of moving forward, connecting dots that were tangled or hidden before, rebuilding cracked parts of ourselves, and taking care of our brains. That's what we need to be doing right now, first and foremost. Because if we fail, if we get sick and we don't have a team, I don't have a team either. When we're not here, no one is. So we don't have a choice. Literally, we've got to take care of ourselves. So you don't have to do all the things, be all the things, be everywhere. Just need to take notice. What feels heavy, what feels done, what's done enough, and what feels unfinished but no longer urgent. So, a couple of things that I want to leave you with, a gentler way to maybe move forward in this moment if you want. Ask yourself these three questions. What am I relieved is over? What do I hope feels different, even slightly this year? And what am I no longer willing to carry? Because if you're like me and you're one person, you're already the hat of the marketing department, the sales department, customer service department, the design department, social media managing, whatever. You're all of the different departments in your business. So you have to decide which things are okay running as they are, which things are allowing the which areas of your business are where you want to focus, and what are you willing to drop? Because when you pick up something, inevitably that's your focus. That's what you're looking at right now. Kind of like the thing my mom used to say, when you point a finger at people, these other ones are pointing back at yourself. So when I decide that's what I'm going to focus on, that line of sight, that's what I'm looking at. But all the other things that I had before, they're not being focused on anymore. They're fires that are dimming. So we can only do so much with one person, and that's okay. We are human beings. So that was my takeaway for the week. You don't need to squeeze meaning or momentum out of this moment. The in between is not wasted time. It's the pause before clarity and the calm before you choose to take the world by storm. I know that sounds cheesy, but I mean it. If January wasn't about realizing or learning new things or even just trying to get your shit together after the holidays, then February can be about new beginnings, calmly, deliberately, and on your own timeline. And for now, let's just exist right there, unoptimized, unplanned, and perfectly or imperfectly on time for ourselves. So I don't know if that's helpful for you. I hope that was. It's just that's a little pep talk that I've been talking to myself, talking through myself for the past month or so. And if you liked this format, even if you're watching the replay, leave a comment below and let me know. I'm thinking I might do a lot more of these live instead of pre-recorded just to make it easier on myself for editing purposes. That way, maybe I can do more of these more frequently because bandwidth and imperfection is my jam. We got to clear up the bandwidth and lean into the imperfection a little bit this year, maybe. So, anyway, leave a comment, let me know. And if you want to read that post in the freeloaders group of my membership, it's totally free. You can access it. You don't even have to be logged in. You can read the full article. I also had a little snippet at the end about Taryn Smith, which I thought was a really interesting story. I just literally found out about her like this week. I'm so behind on everything. And I don't care. Anyway, I'll put that link in the chat below. But if you liked this, please let me know. And maybe then I'll do a little bit more of them. But anyway, I'm going to sign off. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching it. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.